Yesterday, a back-and-forth five-game series decided the first finalist. We'll see if the former finalists from spring can deliver in similar fashion. 100 Thieves have brought in a roster shakeup ahead of their match today. We'll see if Rikara is the secret weapon they need to take down Team Liquid. An insane move here coming in to our second semifinal of the playoff season.
Camera?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LCS Countdown, where for 30 minutes we resolve the prediction game and preview the last match before we head off to Oakland until the timer reaches 0 and we jump into Champion Select. How you boys doing here on this fine Sunday?
What was that shot? Where was that camera? There's like one that was like high and away.
You know they're always watching us, Mark.
Yeah, but
they've always got that omniscient.
Where are you?
There. It's up there somewhere.
Where are you?
Face me! Anyway.
It's above the gym.
There is only,
There's
only one more match before we fill out the rest of the bracket. Presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Yesterday, Cloud9 fought tooth and nail to earn their chance at the 2018 Summer Final. They'll face the winner of today's series, which is the rematch of the best-of-5 in Miami, Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves. If during the day's match, hunger strikes, hit up jerseymikes.com with the promo code JMNALCS and you'll get free league content alongside your meal. Once the weekend concludes, there will be plenty to break down about the teams competing at the Oracle Arena, and where better for Jack, Kobe, and Azale to host a special episode of The Dive than in Oakland. So pick up your tickets for The Dive Live at tinyurl.com/TheDiveLive. But I want to get your thoughts on what transpired just yesterday on this stage. We had a huge five-game grueling series between Cloud9 and TSM. Cloud9 finally breaking that dry spell of best-of-5 losses against TSM.
And it's not just that it happened, it's how it happened too, because it wasn't like, oh, Jensen finally gets his revenge, which I think was the storyline a lot of people were looking for. He had a pretty good series, of course, but he gets swapped out, and it's Golden Glue and Svenskeren that actually clutch it out for Cloud9.
Yeah, I was so hyped pretty much this entire series. We've seen so many iconic C9 versus TSM series. To then have Golden Glue and Svenskeren be the ones to sub in and bring Cloud9 back in the series and push them to finals, there was just so much stuff in there that was surely scripted somewhere, somehow, because it was crazy.
Those two teams never fail to deliver when they're up against each other, but to see the success of a full 7-man roster here and kind of the culmination of the last place to first round bye to now a finals, berth for C9. It's just such an incredible run, and I'm hoping to see more of the same today in terms of the intensity and the hype. In most cases, when a team's back is against the wall, rarely any players want to have that pressure of a team's dreams resting on their shoulders. And then there are the players who step up just to say, I'm helping us get to finals. Presented by State Farm. In Game 4, when it was match point for their opponents, Golden Glue and Svenskeren stepped up to save the day and get Cloud9 to finals.
Are you ready for it, Chris?
I'm ready for it, bro. I'm ready for it.
Your first playoffs, let's make it count, bro. Let's make it count.
Do it, dude. Let's do it.
He's got a shield, but he does not have an easy way out. A flash is not going to be enough. And the Oran horn sounds. There's no way out for Sven. The flash for the knockup. Is it enough to chase him down? It is. 2 kills traded in the bottom lane.
We're going to Game 5, baby.
The knock over, though. A great blast code. The flash ult's going to land. They might just have the damage, and they will.
Let's make it count. Make it count,
Yeah.
they did.
Golden Glue's got to be riding so high, even 18 hours after that series happened, just because he actually has spent 5 years as a pro gamer. First playoff series, takes down TSM Bjergsen as a sub with the 2-0.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember the journey that he, as an individual, took. You mentioned 5 years, but this is a guy who struggled under community criticism, under expert and analysis criticism, for his performance on the LCS stage. Took time to go to Korea on his own, train, in every imaginable fashion, right? His time spent in the Academy League saying, I will make it back to the LCS, and one day I will prove my value on the LCS stage is exactly what he did yesterday.
And just how Svenskeren had his back along the way, I think was super impressive to me. Like, in a season with so many people getting moved around and roster swaps and all this stuff, to have someone, a teammate, have your back like that, heading into that match has to be the most useful thing you could possibly have for support.
Well, that'll put a capper on yesterday's series. Time to turn our attention to today's series. I want to hear flat out from you guys who you think is going to win this one.
We're going to go as fast as I said last time.
Well,
I mean, that was pretty quick yesterday, Mark.
TL3-0.
TL3-0.
Yeah.
Graphics ready? TL3-0.
Yeah,
Okay.
Apparently, we always have the same predictions in playoffs. This is the 4th series in a row. It's
my
been exactly
goodness,
the same.
not
We're supposed to
again.
have games score as a tiebreaker, but I'm also going TL 3-0. They did that in the semifinals. They're 6-1 against them all time. I think TL is a huge favorite, so I almost have to predict this thing.
All right, 3-0 vote for TL out of both of these guys. Of course, what that means is that the prediction pineapple score still being tied. I have checked the rule book, and this is what happens. There's only one solution to determine who wins the prediction pineapple. Trial by combat, or you'll need to select your avatar for victory. Today's trial is Mundo Dodgeball. Mundo Dodgeball pits 2 players on Dr. Mundo against each other in the Baron Pit. The players throw cleavers until one Mundo is left standing. Sounds simple enough, right, guys?
Yeah, I
Great.
saw, like, Turtle and JJ did this.
Yeah, I believe they did it on NALCS tonight for all the fun games. But it's time for you guys to meet your competitors, because the two of you, it wouldn't be a prediction game if I just have the two of you face off against each other. So you're actually going to have to pick competitors.
Let that slide.
So, Jat, I'm going to give you the opportunity to select your competitor first.
Yeah.
It is a blind selection, so you're going to be picking between door number 1 and door number 2, which we have set up over here. Door number 1 being the one on the left side of the screen, and door number 2 being on the right.
Well, thanks for giving me the choice as the defending prediction pineapple.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fair. I can see
I'm
that.
going to pick left. So
All right,
that's
left.
door
Door number 1.
Yeah, that's
door number one,
one.
ladies and gentlemen. Let's see
Who's
who you
door number
got.
1? Who is it? I got Kobe!
Of course, yes.
This is so easy.
Good choice. Kobe.
It's
Yes.
just
That's a
it's
very
the reverse,
solid
It's
choice.
the reverse of rehearsal.
All right.
Anyone could have seen that mind
My
game.
goodness. All right, well, that means that door number 2, Mark, your representative is
All right.
Joel.
/FF, please.
And so here's the thing. Realizing
Open
that
mid.
these teams might be slightly unfair.
Joel gets to practice this.
Although I have insider knowledge that Joel
Wait,
is
the
quite
mouse
good.
is
Quite
different.
good at we handicapped him by giving him no mouse
Wait, hold on.
abilities.
Wait,
No,
you screwed up his mouse?
Joel happens to be very good at Mundo Dodgeball, but with the years of experience that
the
Kobe has had, as
sensitivity's
well as his
actually-
experience of playing on stage, Mark, I tell you what we've done. We've decided to give Joel a Doran shield in this 1v1 battle to no items on the side of Kobe.
It's like you put an 8-year-old versus a 30-year-old, and then you gave him like
In what? What are they doing?
a butter knife. And you're like, there you
If
go.
it was an
it's even
imagination
now.
contest, the
It's
8-year-old would
completely
win.
even now.
So I feel like that's
Kobe, how's
very...
in a
Mouse.
fight to
But
the
they-
death, you
they
gave an
also
8-year-old
made
a
my
butter knife. It was like,
sensitivity
there you go.
Oh, okay. That's
Kobe's
all right.
complaining about
I have really
sensitivity.
low
I'm
sensitivity on this
disappointed
one.
in your lack of faith in
right.
Joel.
Yeah,
this guy is fighting for your prediction life right
let's-
now.
Hey, here's
Let's
the
get
golden
into
glue
it.
narrative. Here's the chance for Joel
That's
to
exactly
completely
right.
overturn everything.
He's coming in off the bench. Gentlemen, get ready.
Don't mess it up,
Start
Kobe.
throwing some cleavers at each
Pick
other.
you.
Let's take a look at this hot action. We got the unpods coming. Here we go,
Oh my
boys.
God.
Where?
You can't
Wait.
run. What are you doing?
He's auto-attacking me.
You're doing
Get him, Joel! Get him, Joel!
I got one hand. I got one hand. One hand the whole time. Hey, he's chasing me again.
Get him, Joel!
I'm one
What's
hand.
going on?
What? You have to stay behind the wards. You're not allowed to cross over.
I just want to win, all right?
Yeah, I don't care. Joel, you fight as dirty as you need to, Joel. I don't care. Get
He's
in
going
there.
after me with the autos again. No.
Who are you?
Auto attack him,
I don't
Joel.
even know which one of them's which Mundo.
Right.
I'm
click
using
his
one
face, Joel.
hand.
Oh, Joel's red Mundo.
Yeah, Joel's
Okay.
right.
Kobe, don't lose.
Right click him,
I
Joel.
gotta go one-handed.
Yeah, he's doing it one-handed.
That doesn't matter.
It's a what?
Okay,
I'm
what
clicking
just
my
happened?
cue.
Ah! Come on, Joel.
Come on.
All right,
Kobe,
this
Come on,
is you.
Joel.
This is
not
you.
even moving.
Oh, Joel, move around. There you go.
What is
I'm
happening?
clicking it.
Yeah, keep moving.
Hey!
Oh, God.
Okay, Kobe's
This is
moving
so
up.
close.
Oh, no!
Oh, my God. Doran's
Flash
field
on.
regen. Doran's the ghost. The ghost. Oh, no. Go! There it
Thank you,
is.
Kobe.
Kobe
Well
is
done. Well
victorious.
played. Well played.
The
Well played. Well
prediction
played.
pineapple
Cheaters
can be
count.
claimed
All
by
right, Jack.
Jack.
I believe I was supposed to come give this to you, but you can,
this
you
works.
can come
This
get
I
it.
didn't want it to get. It's been broken.
It's
before.
already been broken
Yeah.
once. We're trying
It's
to
been
avoid
fixed.
that another time.
I win the predictions game. 2
Congratulations,
splits in a row.
Jat. You're so good at predicting things.
I have a lot of thoughts about that.
We can discuss that after.
That was
Can I not
not
stand
what I
him on air?
expected.
Ah!
Yeah.
Do as you may.
There were several rule infractions.
Well, that.
I feel like someone.
I don't think
neglected
Joel
to-
landed one. I think he only got auto attack damage.
He wasn't even moving.
But I was
half the
I was
time.
impressed with how fervently
Do you
he
see
came
my
out
analogy
onto,
now?
onto the map. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that
I
Doran shield really helped when the guy can't move and throw shit at the same time.
Giving him a Warmogs or something like that.
Yeah,
All
maybe.
right. We need a breather from the heated competition. When we return, we hear from the coaches and break down the win conditions of 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. Don't go anywhere.
Once you taste the feeling of winning, you don't want to go back. I want to go back to winning again, and I want to be in the finals, and I want to go to Worlds, and I want to be considered the best player in my role. It's important that we continue TSM's legacy as the kings of NA.
TSM will get that Kaisa the pentakill.
I guess TSM has rivalry with everyone, but it's more like everyone wants to have a rivalry with TSM. You obviously want to be rivals with the best team and the team that's had the biggest legacy.
Historically, TSM has always had the numbers on us during playoffs.
Disaster for Cloud9.
But I think this time around, it's really going to be the one where we're going to beat TSM.
They can die here. Very, very low. Going to be taken down. First blood over to Team Liquid.
If you get a bye, then you need to practice way harder than other teams because having underdog power is a real thing. So if you don't try way harder than them, you actually might just get upset.
Whenever I'm in playoffs, I'm here to win the whole thing. So I can't really stop at Team Liquid.
스프링 시즌에는 트로피를 리퀴드한테 뺏겼는데 이번 시즌에 저희가 뺏어오고 싶습니다.
It's a double for double lift, and the Thieves are routed. Liquid will look for the win right here.
With every day and every series that we get to play, I'm one step closer to being back on the final stage. For me, it's something I've done so many times before. There's no reason I couldn't do it again.
We're back for the NALCS Countdown, where I'd like to welcome Kobe to the desk as the victor
buddy.
of
I would
Mundo
not like to
Dodgeball.
welcome him.
If Joel had won, Joel would actually be joining us, but Kobe barely eked that one by. How was that? How was that knowing you were playing for someone else's prediction?
It was just scary as soon as it started and he rushed me. I thought there were going to be rules to this game. You know, throw the cleavers from outside the line.
There were
I
rules.
got bum rushed.
They were
That's
disregarded.
terrible.
They were fully disregarded rules, but they were there nonetheless. All right, with that, though, it's time for a special edition of JatStats. So please help me in welcoming the JatStats Singer Summoner's Riff.
Hopefully they'll get this one right. It's JatStats. These aren't that hard.
All right, you come up here and try it.
I
don't know how I like
Those
the
are the
pressure
same
of
singers that made the jingles.
every single jingle you guys have heard.
Heckle me
throughout the year.
Live group. Okay.
a little more.
First question. Someone in the 100 Thieves vs. TL series is dead last in DPM difference, so damage per minute difference, of everyone in their role. So who is this player?
Do we track DPM difference for like supports and stuff?
Oh, God, I hope
Well,
not.
you
If
would
it's
have
a
to
support, I'm going to be so
this
angry.
would be self-calculated because it's your own damage per minute, and then you're just subtracting the two for the difference.
I mean, they have the difference tracker.
Right.
Yeah,
But
so-
I'm going to hope that it is not a support because that's just not fun. And then I'm going to assume that the difference, it might be between Doublelift and Cody still.
No, well, because Cody, it's Cody.
No, Cody has pretty
just
good
because of long
DPM,
games.
right?
Yeah, well, he's in long games. He's on all the time. Is Cody in the stats just in general? Because
Yeah, so it's
because
all
of
the
roster
games.
moves.
I'm going
So-
to say impact.
Impact
Cody
versus
I was
technically is
going to
a
go
carry.
impact too, but he does play some GP, which makes me a little nervous.
Someday has been carrying
I think it's-
games. I don't know if he's been.
I think
doing
it's the biggest mismatch.
But it's not even against each other.
Somebody should
It's
take
just
Pobelter,
the
though.
single individual. Yeah, I think maybe.
Or should we have someone take support? Because I swear to God, if it's support, that's just.
I'm gonna go.
what's your answer?
I'll
What's
go
your
Pobelter
I'm
because I think
impact.
Doublelift
I'll
has such
go
a high
Afro.
damage.
Yeah.
Doublelift has such high damage share for the two things.
It's the support.
I knew it! I knew
Get
it!
out
You're
of
welcome.
here!
You're
As
welcome.
soon as you said it, I thought more about it. I was like,
That is wrong. It's wrong.
right,
Yeah.
for me.
Well, we're wrong.
Mark was right, though.
All right, I don't need
We're
the
wrong.
support.
But the majority were wrong, so
Yeah.
that's...
So we're
But
wrong.
I knew your stupid mind game.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Kobe pays attention to jazz stats. You've been here the whole time. You knew what the...
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the jazz stats.
Question number 2, still themed, 100 Thieves TL. Who has the highest KDA at 15 minutes this split from either player on both teams? So, like, all the games in the regular season, best KDA at 15.
Ooh, interesting. So
Supports
On
are
the one
included
hand-
in this one too. in
Yeah,
case you're
thank
wondering.
you. Thank you. The only thing about the marksman players is like in pre-15 minutes, there's a lot of fights that do break out around mid and top, and you don't necessarily see marksman players involved in those. So as much as I want to say like, oh, TL plays around double lift, and for the most part, 100 Thieves tend to play around Cody, I think like somebody's probably got too many solo kills.
I would think
kills.
I would think it would be a Team
Oh,
Liquid
in order
player.
to then boost his KDA, is what
Because this is a single player from both teams. I would think it's a Team Liquid player.
Right.
Yeah, I would assume Team Liquid player has the more winning.
I was leaning towards Smithy. I was thinking Smithy because he's all over the map, whereas double.
But he had that one death. He had that one game where he died like twice in the first 2 minutes.
A lot of good
game.
discussion here.
I'm gonna go random then. I'm going Ryu.
Ryu?
Okay,
What?
what do
No.
you guys
oh
think?
my
I'm
God.
gonna say Smithy.
I like where Kobe's head's at. He called you on the mind game in question 1.
And then he got it wrong.
So I'm not, but I'm not going to second
But I
guess
knew.
him. It's because I second guessed him and I pushed him away from supports.
Okay.
So I'll take that responsibility for question 1. I'm going to go with Kobe on Ryu.
The majority of the desk says Ryu, and it's Ryu, the highest.
Yeah!
That is right.
I'm just glad not to be associated with you.
I know every single one of your
That
minds.
You only got
is
one of them
right.
right.
This game is
Okay,
easy.
Yeah.
final question.
You didn't get them to
I
sing
won
that was
one.
right.
So
we
far,
got them to
it's a
sing that was
50%
right.
success rate on the desk. Between 100 Thieves and TL, who has the worst CSD at 15 in non-funnel games. So all the games that were funneled aren't part of this stat.
Which player on team?
Worst CSD at 15 between both teams.
Okay. Non-funnel games.
Worst CSD.
And the
Hardest
supports are
CSD.
included.
This could also be
Yeah, but they don't even see us enough
my
to
mind.
pick
Yeah,
CSD.
yeah.
This could also be Ryu.
It could be Ryu.
It could.
I feel like he kind of passively loses. Blend bet. It might be one of the mid. It could either be.
This decides whether you guys win or lose Jat Stats.
Because I don't think it's not someday.
Onda. Pretty sure
Ooh.
his path is really
A
bad.
jungler?
Yeah, I think CSD is pretty bad.
CSD 15 for On.
I think.
Interesting.
Worst CSD. All right, you go Onda. What do you got?
I mean, his impact as well, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like it's a mid laner, but I don't know.
I'll just
between
pick
Pobelter
something
and
different
Ryu.
from you guys. so
Okay,
that somebody.
I'm gonna go with
One of us will win
I'm
now.
gonna go with Pobelter.
Or we all lose.
I'm gonna
You're
go
gonna
with
go
Pobelter.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Onda,
Impact then.
Impact.
Pobelter, and
Impact.
Impact.
So now what do you sing? When all three of us say something different, what do you
It's
sing now?
Impact.
I knew it.
What? Every question I knew the answer.
You only got 2 right.
Because I gave you the first one.
Great
Oh,
job,
they
Kobe.
gave it to Kobe.
2 out of 3 for Kobe.
Oh
means he's
my
right.
goodness.
I mean, I said impact before, too.
But you didn't.
He wins
didn't lock it
Mundo
in.
Dodgeball.
I'm saying
he
by that
wins Jat
Yeah.
Stats.
You get 3 out.
I gotta thank
Yes,
the
thank you
acapella
guys
group.
so much, Summoner's
was-
Rift. You guys are incredible.
great.
Provided us with so many laughs and plenty of embarrassment for Mark and I throughout this split.
Whenever we have
So
a
thank
guest
you
on
very
Jat
much.
Stats, they do way better
They do
than you
so
guys.
much better than us.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't
We're
know.
busy filling our head with entertainment.
Oh, there, that's what it is.
They just have
That's what I'm gonna go with. Well, ahead of the matchup today, Avli caught up with Team Liquid's coach to see how he feels about the 100 Thieves roster swap.
Thanks, guys. Kane said that Team Liquid is feeling super confident against their matchup against 100 Thieves today. He said that they usually have the bot lane advantage, and that's going to be even more so with Rikara subbing in for Cody's son. The team knows that they qualify for Worlds with a win, but they're more focused on today's best of 5 than really looking forward. They put in a lot of extra hours and a lot of extra hard work in this week's scrims and practices, and they just want today's results to show that. Back to you.
I mean, for me, the bigger piece of this all is the news around the 100 Thieves roster swap, which is what I want to start diving into. Yesterday, the first semifinal match was packed with years of history. And while these two teams have a shorter timeline, I'm going to take you all the way back to spring finals of just this year. Team Liquid, 100 Thieves. That was our spring split finals in Miami.
Yeah, and that started with a Baron steal by Smithy to secure game 1, and then somehow that close game turned into the fastest finals in NA/LCS history, and they even had a lead in game 3 despite that, and somehow Team Liquid obliterated them.
Yeah, the memory of that is TL just absolutely dominating. When you look at this matchup all time, TL is 6-1 against 100 Thieves, as well as 2-0 on this split. So the more times the TL beats 100 Thieves, it almost feels like the harder it is for 100 Thieves to overcome that.
Yeah, without a doubt. That said, the owners of both organizations have been outspoken about the fact that these two teams are meeting yet again here in the playoffs.
I saw this happen live, and Nadeshot's response was within 45 minutes of the original tweet. You know, sometimes the owners have like social media people come up with stuff.
Right.
But I'm confident to give like full credit to Nadeshot on that
Pretty
one.
quick-witted.
It was snappy, and it is good.
Yeah, very good. How have you been sleeping this week? Nate Shot's response, we can get in 8 hours every night, knowing it took 6 years for you to get a banner in the studio. Only took us 6 months to meet you in the finals. They met once in the finals. Team Liquid did come out on top. Here they meet again in the semis.
Maybe this is Steve's process. Like, he finds ways to get flamed on social media just so TL can win. Like, he was getting destroyed at the start of spring split after the offseason, and then TL, like, being in fourth. Then he won.
Yeah, I mean, also for Nate Shot, it's like, yeah, that was quick-witted and a better burn, but you're probably still going to lose.
Oh, man.
So, like,
oh, man. Yeah, but you still gotta talk. You gotta talk.
I know. Yeah, you gotta talk.
You can't exactly. So while picking up the win would certainly boost 100 Thieves morale, today's winner not only plays for the summer title, but they do guarantee their spot in Worlds.
Yeah. So if you just look at the way the champion points fall out, this is essentially the current championship's point standings, assuming like the worst case scenario. The winner of this matchup will either be first in the split by winning the finals or have the most championship points of anyone by finishing second.
Correct.
And also, what's interesting is if the winner of this game actually wins the split, then Team Liquid or 100 Thieves, by finishing fourth, would still actually make Worlds. The way they don't make
the
Worlds
loser of
is
today's match,
like Cloud9 ends up winning the whole split.
Loser of today's match goes to Worlds if the winner of today's match wins the finals. That's the best way to look at it there. 100 Thieves are actually premiering, though, a new bot laner for their semifinal match today. Rikara is starting in the bot lane position for game number 1. This move seemingly coming out of the blue.
Right, we're talking about substitutions from yesterday, but we knew Sven and Golden Glue were a bit of a known commodity in the sense that they started the split, they had subbed in once recently, and then they came in again. Rikara was not really seen at all this split on the main roster, and he was pretty good in Academy. Like, I cast all his games. He's clearly a good player, and he does play some mages, which Cody doesn't, as far as we can tell. But still, it's hard to look at this as not a surprise.
I mean,
some way.
we were kind of discussing on the dive, just the matchup in general before the Rikara news came out. And my first reaction was, oh, we need to ask stats what Double Lift versus Cody Sun all-time stats are like, because it always feels like Double Lift, has this big advantage over Cody Sun, CS and lane and everything like that. And it's true, after we asked stats, he has huge CS leads, like 12 difference at like 15 or something like that, large gold leads and stuff in the individual matchup. So maybe it was a similar thing, and they just wanted to have someone different versus Team Liquid's best player.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're just trying to either confuse Team Liquid or at least change the game a little bit, just because we know the 6-1 all-time record. We know that Double Lift seemingly always has Cody Sun. So just change the player.
Right.
And if it doesn't work, you can still go back to Cody Sun.
I was going to say, it's not to say that Cody Sun couldn't come right back in for game 2, and we'll have to see if that happens. For playoffs, though, Double Lift talks about the toll his play style can take on the rest of his teammates and how he wants to step up in these big games to make it all worthwhile.
My team usually does a good job. Like, I demand a lot. I think one thing I never tell my teammates, I've never told them this ever, is I really appreciate how much they put up with my shit, because I really demand a lot out of my teammates. Like, I need Eugene and Jake to play around me, and I need Impact to save his TP for me. I need Ole to just always be with me and protecting me. So those kinds of things, it takes a toll on people, and it probably limits their playstyle. So I really appreciate that my teammates always, no matter what roster I'm on, my teammates always play around me, and they don't ever complain. I'm excited at the opportunity to prove my teammates that I'm worthy of their respect, and I'm worthy that they could sacrifice something to get me ahead, and they should feel confident that that's gonna help them win the game. So yeah, I want to be that player. I want to be like Uzi.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds exactly like the way RNG plays around Uzi, and then Double has said the exact same thing at the end.
Right from you, right.
That's exactly it, and RNG is technically proving that can work, and I think TL is the closest NA replica we have of that team.
Well, without a doubt, we'll see if they can perform today. It's been a bit since we've seen Team Liquid on the Rift. With just a couple minutes to go before the series, I want to get some win conditions on the board. Mark, you're taking 100 Thieves today.
Yeah, I'm going to try and adapt them a little bit to what we're seeing in the substitution. So first, pick a bot lane, kill lane with mages. You see the Pike and the Swain come out, something that TSM's bot lane has done. Afro's a great Pike. We know Rikara, looking at his Academy games, does play Swain. He also plays Vladimir, so something like that to maybe throw Double Lift off kilter, so he's not just playing these hyper-scaling matchups or these utility marksman matchups that he's played for 8 years. Get him off that and get him into different matchups he doesn't know as well. With that, Someday can hopefully go for a greedier counter pick in the top lane, Yesterday, I talked about using counter picks to build better team fight team comps. I want them to be greedier with them this time and more lane focused about obliterating a laning phase. And then global enablers for Ryu of some kind, Rise, Galio, something like that, so you can kind of set up your side lanes, which are going to be a lot more aggressive, hopefully, here.
All right, Jet, you're up next. You got the defending champions in Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could have made these win conditions in Week 7 because Team Liquid doesn't need to change that much. I think controlling Rise is a big thing that FlyQuest didn't do against 100 Thieves. You either pick it or ban it away. Then over-prioritize having a good late game because these games probably going late and play through your bottom lane like you always do.
All right,
Team Liquid's got to do.
Win conditions are on the board. Kobe, before we head out to the Battle Arena, earlier I got these guys' predictions for the day. Want to give you an opportunity to throw your prediction out there. Who you thinking?
I saw those, and they were both super quick to say Team Liquid 3-0.
What are you going to say? You got 15 seconds.
I think that it is still going to be Team Liquid, but I think it's going to be much closer, and I said 3-2.
3-2 prediction out of Kobe here. A much closer series, 10 seconds ahead of game time. Time to toss it out to the Battle Arena to get us into the games.